Savvy, do you have an A in this class?
Here is our presentation on the power of light by Akshay, Esther, Vibhu, JP, and me, Savvy.
Our topic is light, and the first thing we had to do for our project was to brainstorm. So we came up with a bunch of words related to our topic, and we put them into something called a wordle, which you can see here. Here are some pictures of us doing this. Our first step was to write paragraphs connecting our topic with various disciplines.
The first topic that we connected to was artistic, and so we were connecting light to different artistic pieces, such as paintings, sculptures, sketches, and each of us wrote a paragraph on 3 different pieces.
We will each explain these paragraphs in 1 to 2 sentences in the following minutes. My piece is called The Adoration of the Magi by Leonardo da Vinci. And this was one of the first paintings in the Renaissance to use a technique called sfumato. And this technique uses light to create a 3D effect that makes the painting seem more real, and create a hazy effect that makes it seem imagined as well. Another piece of art I wrote about was Monument 4 for Those Who Have Been Killed in Ambush by Dan Flavin. And this is a piece that uses fluorescent lights to create a special color that's very different from any other media of art. And this allows for a unique emotion in this painting, or rather this piece of art. My final artwork was Eric Stoller's Ribbon on Hanover Street. This is a type of art called light art, and it's a drawing with light. This painting itself represents the movement in life.
This painting is called The Agony in the Garden by El Greco, and this painting really illustrates the different representations of light and darkness, and as they connect metaphorically to different stories and plot lines. The second piece was about architecture and how that relates to light. And these are the interiors of an art museum and a train station in Asia. And I picked them because both of the spaces were made very open and felt a lot bigger, and their atmosphere was improved by the way that they were either opened up and had more light, or the way they threw the light and had all spaces lit. And my final piece is called The Shipwreck, and it shows, it kind of uses light and darkness also in a storyline, and
The Bellevue Art Museum. The Bellevue Art
no, he can record.
Okay, and so this was my first painting which I chose, which is by Alton S. Toby, and it's called Thy Will Be Done. And it demonstrates the idea of light is used to represent like goodness and God and faith. And it's showing that God provides faith in like areas of dark and mystery and the unknown. This next painting is called The Light of Knowledge, and it expresses the idea that by gathering knowledge and information on certain subjects allows to provide light, so you're no longer in the dark of these certain subjects. This sketch is called The Light by Cindy S. D. Nielsen, and this represents the idea that light can show the things that are not usually seen, as you are able to see her expression in this sketch, but if the light was not there, you wouldn't be able to.
Alright, so this is the Pantheon, which is located in Rome, and it uses, and that central oculus provides light so that the whole room can see the light, and therefore the light transforms the Pantheon into an amazing and remarkable space. Also, one of my other works was Taddeo Giadi's angelic announcement to the shepherds. Here, the angel uses light to help the pheasant overcome starving and sadness. Finally, Wallman hunts Jesus, so he uses light to bring knowledge and hope to a very gloomy world.
The next type of connection we tried to make was historical, and the way we did this was by choosing quotes by historic figures about our topic, light. For example, one of the people I chose was the Buddha, and one of his quotes about light was, "Just as treasures are uncovered from the earth, so virtue appears from good deeds, and wisdom appears from a pure and peaceful mind. To walk safely through the maze of human life, one needs the light of wisdom and the guidance of virtue." Overall, this quote outlines how light represents virtue. My second quote was by Albert Camus, and this was, "Truth, like light, blinds. Falsehood, on the contrary, is a beautiful twilight that enhances every object." This quote is one of the few that looks at light in a negative way because it destroys truth or destroys imagination.
This is William Shakespeare, and the quote I chose for him was, "Now God be praised that to believing souls give light in darkness, comfort in despair," which demonstrates the idea that with belief comes light, which in other words means hope, reassurance, and guidance. This is Eleanor Roosevelt, who said, "It is better to light a candle than curse the darkness," which expresses the idea that it is more beneficial to try to fix a problem rather than just complain about it.
This is William Wordsworth, and he wrote a poem about the endeavors of light and showing how the light inside you makes you become a better person and conquer the problems more easily. And this is Martin Luther King's picture, and he said, "Darkness cannot drive out. Mm, darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that, and that means only good things can drive out bad things, and we need to develop good things in order to get rid of bad things."
Our third type of connection was scientific, and we did this by finding various scientific articles about light. My first article was about a new type of light bulb that uses LEDs to be very efficient and still have high light quality. My second article was about a photochemist who has used a photobiological cell to create hydrogen.
I found an article that was stating that scientists may have discovered that Einstein's theory that nothing can travel faster than the speed of light may not be true. And my other article was discovering the possibility that mice may be able to smell light and react to it as if it were a scent.
Alright, this is an episode of of blue light and how it helps get rid of the disease Acinetobacter baumannii, and light cures that disease. And this is how light affects mindsets and how we can use LEDs to reduce that.
Our final type of connection was literary, and we did this by choosing a poem or short passage that related to light. We will just tell you the pieces that we chose. My piece was called What Light Destroys by Andrew Hudgens, and it talks about a drunkard who thinks that light is destroying his life.
My poem was called Light by Prezi and basically covered all aspects in which light is incorporated into.
There's a certain slant of light by Emily Dickinson, and this talks about how the light is really inside of you, and sometimes more feelings are inside than outside.
Once we have finished all of this, we put it into a topic map, which you can see us making right here. This topic map started with our original topic, and we sorted it into smaller subtopics. Faith,
Virtue,
Emotion,
Power.
optics,
knowledge,
and once we had done that, we wrote theses about these. But the first step to doing that was to come up with theme questions, such as the one that we had for our final thesis: how does darkness affect our perception of threats? After that, we came up with various theses.
such as, in many works of art, light is represented in a way that shows kindness to get the sad people out of darkness. Or, through the guidance, reassurance, and answers hope is able to provide, it has become an essential element in one's life.
Light destroys and diminishes, creates and amplifies. The common view of darkness as a weak element in comparison to light leads many people to fight it through their personal virtues.
Darkness is frightening because it represents what is unknown, and knowing what is being faced is less intimidating. The darkness becomes conquerable because plans can be made to face the threat.
Once we had this, we divided it up into various claims that we put into our outline. Once we had done that, we shared our outline with other groups. With that done, we started by writing introductions. We edited the first introduction into this, starting with light permeates most aspects of any human's life, and ending with our thesis. Following are each of our body paragraphs. Just explain that too.
Oh, so this body paragraph basically explains the idea that light is symbolic of the unknown and unfamiliar to man, whether this is viewed as good or bad.
Okay, light makes situations seem less scary.
Light, or rather darkness, can be overcome or conquered by light.
Here are some plans to face the threat made by darkness using light.
We concluded this in the end by asking the question, which are you allowing to control your life? And with our several sources. We finished our project by writing self-assessments. If you would like, you can come back and read these at a later date. Thank you for watching, and from the Pink Fluffy Penguins,
Thank you.
you.
Thank you.
Woohoo!
Can I please leave now?